Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News in Shinrin-yoku, bringing you an earthquake update Wednesday, September 30th, around 10 p.m. Mountain Time 2020. Dozens of earthquakes hit in swarm near the Salton Sea area. Dozens of small earthquakes, the largest measuring 4.9, are striking desert communities near the Salton Sea Wednesday. In fact, it is the most active earthquake swarm in Southern California history. Over 45 earthquakes this evening, over 3 magnitude, rattled the Salton Sea area in just 2.5 hours. Hours of powers. And you can see that region here. After the major uptick in the swarm, we did have a transverse effect here on the Ring of Fire with a 6.4 kicking off, but the activity continues in the Salton Sea. And as we blow up the region here, you're going to see that it is south of the San Andreas Fault here. In fact, in a transition zone called the Salton Buttes region, where one fault system ends and the other one begins. And this is a volcanic area, well-known volcanic area that is on the list of the dangers to North America as far as volcanoes. So what we see here in the Salton Buttes area is potentially large amounts of magma moving into this region. Take a look at that swarm. No standout, although 4.9 was the largest quake, which happened after already hundreds of quakes had occurred. In the last 24 hours in this region, over 1,000 quakes above 1 magnitude, over 100 quakes above 2.5, and 45 quakes above 3 magnitude in just 2.5 hours. Now, the Salton Buttes lie within the Salton Sea geothermal field, located about 145 kilometers southeast of Palm Springs in the Imperial Valley, California. The most recent eruption in this region occurred 1,800 years ago. But 18,000 years ago, a major eruptive period began. Now, the Salton Buttes geothermal system is fueled by heat emanating from zones of partially molten rock deep below the surface. Eruptions occurring at 400,000 years ago were followed by a long lull in volcanic activity until about 18,000 years ago. The most recent eruptions, which took place 1,800 years ago, according to the data, started explosively, then progressed to relatively gentle, effusive, dense, glassy-looking obsidian lava domes. The Salton Sea geothermal field, which currently produces enough power to supply 325,000 homes, has persistent small to moderate earthquakes related to the geothermal system and to movement along regional faults. Now, this area is highly monitored with tons of tiltimeters and things like that in the region, so we will have advanced warning. Now, the Salton Buttes, according to the Smithsonian, here you can get all the data you want, the eruptive history. There's the eruption back in 210 AD. There was also one 200 years prior, and then 400 years prior to that. But you can get the deformation history on the region. You see one side going up and the other one going down. And do your own homework. But big news, the largest earthquake swarm in Southern California history is ongoing south of the Salton Sea in the Salton Buttes region, which is a volcanic area. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. As we enter the grand solar minimum and the magnetic excursion is ongoing, we predicted that volcanic activity on the West Coast will be beginning. And it looks like, well, something's happening, and that's a boom to science and knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance, as I said, and we will continue to bring you up-to-date information as it breaks at the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Very high-end stuff here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this with like-minded people, and be safe. We couldn't do this without you.